You know that feeling, right? When you're reading something, maybe it's a line in a book, a poem, or even a speech, and it just stops you, dead in your tracks. It's so powerful, you literally get chills. I think we've all been there. It's that incredible moment when words stop being just words and become something more. They elevate you.
So what is that quality, really? What's the secret sauce that takes a bunch of words on a page and turns them into something that just sticks with you for years, something with real emotional punch? It feels like magic, doesn't it? But what if I told you it's something we can actually break down and understand? Well, believe it or not, people have been wrestling with this exact question for a very, very long time. And one of the best answers we've ever gotten is over 2,000 years old, from a classical text written way back in the first century. Pretty wild, right? Okay, let's get into it. So the author, a figure we know today as Longinus, he had a name for this incredible quality. And it wasn't something boring like good writing. No, he called it the Sublime. And trust me, this is a concept that goes way beyond just pretty words on a page. So what on earth did Longinus actually mean by the Sublime? Well, think of it this way. It's not writing that just charms you. It's writing that overwhelms you. It grabs you by the shoulders, lifts you up, and in his words, totally transports you somewhere else. It's kind of like the literary version of standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon, that feeling of pure awe. And this brings up a really crucial difference Longinus pointed out. You have mere beauty on one hand, writing that's skillful, it's pleasant, it's nice. But the sublime, that is on a completely different planet. It's this awe-inspiring, totally unforgettable greatness that hits you like a force of nature. It's the difference between looking at a pretty flower garden and seeing a bolt of lightning split the sky. Right, so this all sounds amazing, but the big question is, how do you do it? Is it just some random spark of genius that you either have or you don't? Well, not according to Longinus. He actually believed there was a recipe, a blueprint with 5 key ingredients to unlock this kind of greatness. So let's break them down. And here they are, the 5 sources of the sublime. You've got greatness of thought, strong and genuine emotion, figures of speech, noble diction, and dignified composition. You can kind of think of it like this. The first 2 are all about what's going on inside your head and heart. The other 3 are about the nuts and bolts of writing it down. So let's start at the source, the mind. Okay, source number 1, greatness of thought. For Longinus, this was probably the most important of all. His argument was simple. You just can't get sublime writing from a small mind. It all has to start with lofty ideas, with a powerful imagination. You can write about small, petty things as skillfully as you want, but they're never, ever going to achieve that true grandeur. Next up, source number 2, strong and genuine emotion. And look, the absolute keyword here is genuine. The feeling has to be real. You cannot fake this stuff. Readers have a built-in detector for phony, forced emotion. The sublime can only come from a place of true, authentic, powerful feeling. All right, source number 3 is where we get into the writer's toolbox, effective figures of speech. We're talking about things like hyperbole, similes, metaphors, rhetorical questions. But, and this is a huge but, Longinus wasn't saying to just sprinkle these in like decorations on a cake. No way. The whole point is to use them strategically to make the ideas and emotions even bigger. A great simile doesn't just describe something, it makes you experience it. Source number 4 is noble diction. This one is all about word choice. Basically, you have to ask yourself, are the words I'm choosing actually worthy of this big idea? Are they powerful enough for this deep emotion? It's all about picking words that have dignity, that sound right, that carry some real weight. And that brings us to our 5th and final source, dignified composition. This is where it all comes together. This is the architecture of your writing. How do you arrange your sentences? How does it flow? A sublime piece of writing isn't just a collection of great sentences. It has a rhythm, a balance that makes the whole thing feel complete, powerful. Honestly, it's like a perfectly composed piece of music. Okay, so we've got the 5 keys to greatness. Sounds straightforward, right? Well, not so fast. Longinus also had a huge warning for writers, because it's not just about knowing what to do. You have to be really, really careful about what not to do. This whole thing is a very delicate balancing act. And here's the core of that warning. Sublimity is fragile, incredibly fragile. You could have the greatest idea in the world,
the most genuine emotion, and you can completely wreck it in a single sentence. It is shockingly easy to slip from the sublime straight into the ridiculous. So what are these traps you need to avoid? Well, it all boils down to one thing: trying too hard. Piling on way too much fancy language, faking emotions, showing off how clever you are, using so many metaphors they just become meaningless noise. And here's the bottom line: all these mistakes happen when you lose that genuine passion and try to replace it with just empty technical skill. This brings us to what might be the most profound piece of this whole puzzle. Because for Longinus, the sublime wasn't just some fancy writing technique. Nope, it was something much, much deeper than that. He was convinced that you simply cannot separate the art from the artist. To create something truly great, something sublime, a writer needs more than just talent or skill. They need, for lack of a better term, a noble soul. And there's a line from the text that just says it all perfectly. A corrupt mind cannot produce great writing. For him, your ethics and your art were tied together. Greatness in writing had to come from a place of moral excellence. Because really, that's the ultimate goal here. The sublime isn't about the writer just showing off how smart they are. The whole point is to give a gift to the reader. The purpose is to pull us out of our ordinary everyday experience and let us touch something transcendent. And when a writer actually pulls this off, this is the result. It creates this feeling of pure ecstasy and wonder. A truly sublime piece of writing, it doesn't feel like it belongs to one time or one place. It feels universal. It feels timeless. And that is why it sticks around, echoing in our memory for generations. So, this all brings us right back to the beginning, doesn't it? It's amazing how this 2,000-year-old idea still feels so powerful today. And it leaves me with a question for you. Think about it. A book, a movie, a song, a speech. What modern work feels truly sublime to you? What's the last thing that gave you that incredible feeling of awe, that feeling of being completely transported?